Mary. So from that, they stated that the land itself was extraordinary. That we're not talking here about a normal country, a normal landscape, a normal agriculture. It's something different. It's outsize, too big. Then they said that they saw the Knani there, and they saw the Amaleki, they saw the tribes that were there, and they saw that they lived in the open. Very few of them were in walled cities, which is a sign of strength and not of weakness. And they said that we saw giants. So the people that were giants are like the fruit that was outsized. And the people are not normal there. They're gigantic people. And they came to the conclusion, Kechagovim hoyinu, so we were like insects. So Rashi immediately states that they overheard the giants say, who's crawling around here? Who are these insects that are crawling around? Referring to them, to the Meraglim. But then they added, V'chein hoyinu beinenu. We also felt that we were insects. We also felt that we were chagovim. In other words, their own self-esteem, their own personal strength was sapped by the fact of what they heard the giants say, which is a reflection of what we began to speak about last night as well, is that when they went there to Israel, they went with a negative view. They were already somehow biased against it. And when you are biased against something, then you can take all of the facts, and the facts are true, but nevertheless your conclusion is based upon your bias. And because of that, therefore, your conclusion can be wrong even when the facts are correct. We have that many times. In today's world, that's called the intelligence service. So the intelligence service gathers facts through all sorts of methods. Then there are people who sit in the kiryah or wherever, and they have to interpret those facts. So many times they interpret them correctly, but many times they interpret them incorrectly. They don't come to the right conclusion. Because facts alone are subject to human opinion and human interpretation. So that's what happened with the Meraglim. So because v'chein hoyinu beinenu, because this is their mindset. And that's what they kept on saying, lo nuchal, where this is too great a task for us. We cannot do it. And therefore it's useless to embark upon it because of the fact that it is beyond our abilities to do so. So that is not a fact. That's an assessment. It was their opinion. And their opinion is based upon their biases. Now, Kolev, the Torah says, Vayahas Kolev Esohom. Kolev quieted the people because they thought that Kolev was going to make a speech also against Moshe and against Eretz Yisrael. And they were convinced, therefore, that they wanted to hear what he had to say. But he said just the opposite. First of all, he said, Moshe has a track record. He took us out of Egypt, he split the sea, he brought down the Mon, he defeated Amalek, he defeated the Canaani, he brought down the Torah from heaven, he built the Mishkan, he has a track record. So why should we say that it's impossible now? Because they were still under the impression that Moshe was going to take them to Eretz Yisrael. That doesn't change until Parshas Chukas, where Moshe sins and is told that he's not going to take them into Eretz Yisrael. But now at the story of the Meraglim, we have Moshe as our leader. Look what Moshe has done. Look at all the miracles that he has created for us. So therefore, why do you say that we are like grasshoppers, we're insects, we can't do it, lo nuchal? Look at what we have done until now. Look what Moshe has accomplished until now. And then they said, Kitov haaretz ma'od ma'od. They repeated all the facts. You see this great fruit? What a country. They said, you see this great fruit? It's too good for us, too big. It's unnatural. And they said just the opposite. It's great. Look at it. And the Canaani and the Amaleki, they said, we have defeated them before. And there's no reason for us to say that we can't do it. And Tov haaretz ma'od ma'od, it's not just a good place, it's the best place. So there's really no dispute as to the facts here. The dispute is as to the assessment as to what these facts mean. What should we do? How should we pursue it? So they said, Olo nale, we'll go up and we'll be successful and we will be able to do everything. And the others said, no, we can't do it. So if it would have been left like that, you got two opinions. Okay, we'll decide, let the people will decide which opinion they want to follow. But that isn't what the Meraglim were satisfied with. The Meraglim insisted that their opinion be followed. So they put on a publicity campaign, a propaganda campaign against Eretz Yisrael and against going to Eretz Yisrael, so that they swayed public opinion, again, no longer by the facts, because the facts were already in for everybody, but they swayed them by, Ono anachnu holchim, where are we going? How can we do this? You know, our children, our wives will be destroyed. It's suicidal. And that is what was their undoing. And because of the fact they persisted in that, and because of the fact that the Jewish people fell prey to this type of campaign, so the people are always subject to a populism that's appealing. And therefore, they said, yeah, we're not going, right? And we're not going, so they didn't go. The Rebbeinu Shalom promised them that they wouldn't go. The next day, they thought it over. So we have here in the Parsha, Vayapilu lalo Sahara. They wanted to go up to the mountain. Okay, all right, we made a mistake. Shouldn't have listened to the Meraglim. Shouldn't have said we weren't going to go. We're ready to go. And we volunteer, we're going at the head. And now Moshe said, no, that's too late. Because it's a missed opportunity. Opportunities don't always come. And they very rarely repeat themselves. Everybody who lives here says, 30 years ago I could have bought Rechavia. Right? We all are trillionaires. The opportunity doesn't come back again. So Moshe told them, don't go. Kein Hashem b'kir b'chem. Because now God will not go with you. And Moshe told them the secret. The secret of Eretz Yisrael is that if God goes with you, you're successful. And if God doesn't go with you, if you think you're going by yourself, it's not going to pan out. It's not going to work. And the Ma'apilim went. So Moshe told them, V'hi lo sitzlach. You will not be successful. So here there's a famous piece from Tzaddik HaKohen Milublin, the great Chassidic Rebbe. So he wrote a sefer called Tzidkas HaTzadik. He wrote 70 Sforim. We have about 40 of them printed. He was an absolute genius. So he said, V'hi lo sitzlach. Now you won't be successful because you're going against God's will. But he said there'll come a day where you will be successful even if you go against heaven, he says. He says that's what the Gemara means, that in the time of the redemption, chutzpah yazge. Chutzpah will triumph. So he says, afilu chutzpah kappa ishmaya. Even chutzpah against heaven. And he says, in that time, now lo sitzloch, but then there will be matzliach. And he says, and this he's saying it in 1902, V'zeh yomeinu elu, ikvasa Mashiach. And that is our time where the Jewish people have chutzpah. So now in our time it will work. So the Chassidim took that out of the book because that was too radical. But it was put back in the book. In our time, Eliyahu Kitov published Tzidkas HaTzadik HaMoleh. He filled it back in. And we are living proof of the fact that somehow, against all odds and against all logic, it was Matzliach. So Eretz Yisrael is a very volatile thing. But it's opportunities. And when the opportunities are pushed, so then great and good things can happen. And we can redeem the sin of the Meraglim in a much, much later time and in a positive fashion. Rabbi Chananya ben Akash Omer,